What's up, guys? Video Game Talk here today to talk about Nintendo's Direct conference. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Now, interestingly enough, the first thing they showed in this conference was Pokemon X and Y. Well, I'm a big Pokemon fan. I like Pokemon. I'm looking forward to Pokemon X and Y like a bunch of other Pokemon fans. So of course, I'm like hell to the yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that first. Now, first we saw some new gameplay footage of the game, like different parts of the region. In this one part, we saw the character coming out of a house. I believe that's our home. Could be wrong. And we saw like the Eiffel Tower look alike, like its bottom, the base and junk. And the cool thing is, the camera angle was pointing from above, so it was like we were looking down. Now, that pretty much says that throughout the game, there'll be different camera angles. Not just in cutscenes, not just in particular parts. No, throughout the entire game, there'll be different camera angles. And, that's pretty sick. Big step up. Uh, we heard the starters' cries. Not sure if that's much of a big deal. We saw how wild Pokemon battles go, like how we encounter wild Pokemon and whatnot. And there are different ways to encounter wild Pokemon. I mean, well, obviously, if you go in the grass, you'll find them, but like the introductory statement, which usually goes like wild Pikachu appear or anything like that. No, that actually changes. So sometimes it'll be like the wild Helioptile you stepped on attacked. So that's pretty cool, making it more realistic, I suppose. Cause it's not like a Pokemon's gonna attack you all the time. Sometimes you just have to provoke it. So like accidentally stepped on it or something. Makes sense. And finally we saw some new Pokemon. First there was Vivillon, which is a bug flying type. And we could pretty much guess that by the way it looks as well. Although I don't like the way it looks because the eyes look kinda creepy. So yeah. And then there was the dragon flying type, Noivern, or however you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure I just butchered its name, so I'm not gonna bother to pronounce it anymore. Uh, and not only that, we saw it using a new move, which was Boom Burst. Now, obviously, that may be a dragon type move, considering a dragon type was using it, and also considering how it looks. But it could also be a fire type move. I'm only saying this based on how it looks. Could be a normal type move as well. Who knows? But yeah. And they went on to start listing the different types of the different Pokemon types in the game. So I was like, oh yeah, here it is. Gonna announce a new type. No, if it wasn't obvious already, there was gonna be a new type that was gonna be announced. A lot of people are saying it was Fairy type because that's what Hero was saying. The guy who leaked a bunch of information before and it turned out to be right. Not only on X and Y but on Black and White too. So yeah, he was saying there's a fairy type. And also, Game Explained did a video in where they saw like a bunch of hints, did some research. I was saying that Sylveon's name pointed to the fact that it could be a fairy type. They saw this structure that looked like a gem. They were saying that could be a fairy type gem. So and like a punch to the face, I didn't see coming. Boom, fairy type confirmed. Can't really say it's a surprise considering, Game Explained and Hero. But then again, it's also surprising at the same time because some people didn't expect it. Like they just couldn't believe that there'd be a fairy type. So yeah, I myself just couldn't believe there'd be a fairy type, but seems as though there is. What's done is done. Can't change that. So yeah, that's too bad. Now as we saw in the battle, Sylveon's fairy type, as though that wasn't obvious. Second, we saw some new fairy type moves. Uh, Moon Blast, I think it was called. Yeah, we saw Sylveon fighting this Haxorus. and we come to find out that fairy type is super effective against dragon. No, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it doesn't seem fitting, in my opinion, because fairy sounds like something, you know, weak, soft, fragile. Dragon is something tough, strong, not fragile. So, the fact that fairy type is super effective against dragon doesn't really seem fitting, in my opinion. But, Game Freak were saying that, you know, they made fairy super effective against dragon to provide more of a balance to the game and whatnot. So, you know, but it just doesn't seem fitting. But I'm pretty sure I'll get used to it. Uh, and yeah, they're also saying that some old Pokemon are gonna get fairy added on to their type. So Jigglypuff, Gardevoir, and Marrow are those Pokemon. It's kind of funny that Clefairy isn't a fairy type, but hey, but who knows? They may add fairy type onto some more Pokemon, for all we know. I mean, why just add it onto those three? You know, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, uh, so fairy type is a thing, and well, I'll just get used to it. I'm pretty sure we'll get used to it. So nothing to worry about. It'll also be interesting to see how this affects Wi-Fi battling, having to come up with new strategies and whatnot, because not only is Fairy type super effective against Dragon and providing another weakness for such a powerful Pokemon type, but also all Pokemon will be getting Fairy added onto their type. So, it'll be interesting to see what new strategies people come up with to fight against those old Pokemon, and also to defend their Dragon types against those Fairy type moves. Speaking of which, I forgot there's another Fairy type move introduced called Fairy Wind, I think. So, yeah, pretty obvious that's a Fairy type move. But yeah, people are gonna have to come up with more complex strategies and whatnot. So that'll be interesting to see. And yeah, there's also some more features introduced for the game, like Pokemon and Me. Uh, that's basically a feature that allows you to bond with your Pokemon, basically feeding them, playing with them, sort of like if it was a legit pet. So, gives a change from just battling all the time and from Pokemon contests and whatnot. You can actually have fun with these Pokemon instead of just making them fight all the time. Pretty cool. And in my opinion, this will be pretty helpful for our Pokemon that are dependent on happiness to evolve. So yeah. And also we saw Xerneas and Yveltal using some pretty powerful attacks in battle. I wonder what these attacks are. I was hearing that Xerneas was using Hyper Beam, so at least you know what that is. Don't know what Yveltal is using though. But yeah, probably a special move or something. Because we all know how some legendaries have moves exclusive to them. So yeah. And we get a release date, October 12th. So now we know when to look forward to Pokemon X and Y. Neat. So now we can start planning and whatnot. So yeah. And that's pretty much it for what they announced for Pokemon X and Y. And this whole fairy type thing, it being super effective against Dragon, not too sure about that. But I'll just get used to it. And what's done is done. Can't really change it now, so eh. And besides, I'm a Pokemon fan. I like the games. And I like how X and Y look. So fairy type, although I don't mind it, I don't really totally accept it either, but it's there in the game and I don't have to use fairy type Pokemon. But I will just to see how they work and whatnot. But I mean, I don't hate it. But I'm not totally accepting of it either. But like I said, I'll just get used to it. Pokemon and me thing was pretty interesting. And yeah, and I wonder what attack Yveltal is using. And that new dragon type that was introduced looks like a bat. I think it's weird that a bat is a dragon type Pokemon. Hey, but maybe it wasn't supposed to look like a bot. Maybe it just happens to look like a bot. But you know, the fact of the matter is, it looks like a bot and it's a dragon type. So I don't know if that's cool that a bot is a dragon, or if that's just weird that a bot is a dragon. But hey, what's done is done. So that's it. That's what was announced for Pokemon X and Y. Those are my thoughts. You can tell me what you think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later.